Hello, I'm going to make one of my favorite desserts for you guys. This makes 2 servings. A couple of months ago, I actually posted a YouTube video. I'll make sure that I link it in the description box of this one, of a strawberry mousse that I absolutely love. It's literally like a protein mousse, super low in calorie. It's made with like jelly crystals, hot water and cottage cheese all blended together. So I mean, it's really, really simple. If you haven't made it, make sure you go make it. But I'm actually gonna make it into a new kind of dessert today. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using a different flavor gel, berry vanilla, because I'm also going to make a really simple chocolate protein mousse as well, just made with high protein Greek yogurt. Super easy, super yum. And then I'm going to actually layer it, so it's going to have chocolate, strawberry, and then a layer of whipped cream on top. It's going to be amazing. By the way, I'm just baking some bread. You might be able to see in the background. I have perfected the texture of my sourdough now. Not so much the look. The look's still not a vibe, so don't judge me yet. But the texture, like, wait till you see me cut into it. I posted a video of it the other day on my Instagram. So if you're not following my Instagram, here's my handle. Follow me now. Just to see, you know, what I'm up to day behind the scenes. And yeah, I am obsessed. So I finally worked out what kind of recipe suits me well, and life is good. So all I'm gonna be doing is boiling the kettle. I just need 150 mils of hot water, so it doesn't necessarily need to be boiling. So once it starts kind of boiling, I'm just gonna turn it off, chuck it in here. All I'm gonna be doing for this amount of serves, so to make 2 serves, hear the kettle in the background, is I'm just gonna be using half a sachet, I was about to say, that's how you spell it, not say it, half a sachet of jelly crystals. So it's literally just gonna be a bit of a guess. Actually, they're 9 grams, I'm gonna weigh it. You know what? I need to make this perfect for you all. Let me get my kitchen scales out of here. I'm going to weigh 4 grams, 4.5 grams. All right, let's do it. 4, oh, it went to 5, but you know, I think it's pretty close. That's amazing, love it. So I only need half of a sachet. I'll put that aside for later, for tomorrow. And then I'm gonna fill it with 150 mils of hot water. So the water just needs to be hot enough to actually dissolve the jelly crystals, because then we're actually gonna sit it in the freezer just for like 20 minutes while it cools down a little bit. We don't want it to fully set. We just want it to be a little bit cool before I blend it with the cottage cheese. And meanwhile, I'll be making the mousse to add to our cute little dessert glasses. All right, 150 mils. Don't get it wrong, Raya. There's no taking it back. 150, 150, 150. About there. Oh, a little bit more. Oh, I think that's pretty spot on with my spoon. Oh, this is a nice color. I was gonna do strawberry or raspberry, and then I was like, you know what? Berry vanilla sounds really nice to go with chocolate, because then it does give the, okay, I'm gonna fully muck up this word, so don't judge me. I've never been able to say the word Napolitan. What's that? The ice cream, when you're little and you used to get like the tubs of ice cream that had the chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. Tell me you remember it. Anyway, oh, this is a purple. This is gonna look nice, you know, contrast with the chocolate mousse at the bottom of the glasses. All right, so once all the jelly crystals are dissolved, I'm literally just gonna sit this in the freezer just while I make the mousse section, and then it's probably gonna be cool enough for me to blend and then add to the top of my glasses. Now time to make our chocolate mousse. So what I've got is some high protein Greek yogurt. You can use any brand you like. There's like the Chobani Lite, or else a lot of the supermarkets have like a home brand one. So just make sure, if you're really wanting to make this a higher protein dessert, make sure that you do get the high protein variety. It's usually like lower fat, higher in protein. I'm not saying there's anything bad about having other types of yogurt. I mean, I think just yogurt's amazing in general. But if you are after the higher protein for this dessert, if you're struggling to hit your protein and you love dessert, this is a good way. And so getting the high protein variety can definitely be of assistance. So all I'm literally doing, I've got the Greek yogurt in here. Sorry, I was too busy chatting away. I didn't even tell you what I added in here. I've got the Greek yogurt. I've got my chocolate protein powder. I use Macro Mike, of course. This is the chocolate. It's called Deluxe Chocolate Flavor. It's made with almond protein. I love it. Use any sort of chocolate protein powder you like. Whatever you have, it'll work, I promise. So I do have one thing to say about protein powders though, because a lot of people say to me like, Raya, what protein powder do you recommend? What ones are good for me? And To be honest, it always depends on the taste. So you've got to like the texture and the taste and actually enjoy adding it into your foods or having it as a shake to be able to be consistent with like eating it. So protein powder is not essential in a healthy diet at all, and you can definitely hit your protein goals without needing to add protein powder in, but it just helps. It just makes it a lot easier. If you're struggling to get your protein in, having some protein powder in stuff literally just gives it that bit of a protein boost. And if it tastes nice, then it's a bonus because it means you're actually going to enjoy it. I don't ever want people to be eating things like just because it's good for them. I'm like, no, make it taste nice. Like make it so that you really enjoy it and you look forward to eating it, because health should not be a chore. Like looking after our health should not be a chore. Anyway, sorry, that was a little bit of a rant, but I just, just going to rant it up for the sake of our health, because I don't want people to be eating super healthy and then be miserable. Like, come on, life's too short for that. So let's just make things that we can actually enjoy eating, such as chocolate mousse and berry mousse added together in a glass, topped off with a dollop of whipped cream. Mate, this is gonna be amazing. So literally I'm just stirring this all together now, just while I've been chatting away, just been multitasking. So I'm just stirring it so it's a really nice texture. I just wanted to really quickly interrupt me making that yummy dessert, just to have a really quick chat, and then I'll get back to it. And I'll get back to finishing the dessert after this, I promise. So what I wanted to speak about is our body's natural ability to know what it needs. So if you're having like certain cravings of certain things, it's probably your body like crying out for something. And the lower quality foods that some people term as like sometimes foods, but I'm not sure what you term it as, they don't really satisfy what our body actually needs. So a lot of the times, like if you're craving something like really fatty or deep fried or something like that, you're probably actually craving some fats. Like your body knows, okay, I need some fats. And there are some really good healthy fats you could eat, like avocado, some healthy unrefined oils, nuts, things like that, to actually get your fat content up, or peanut butter if you're like me. If you're really craving like lollies and chocolate and like just sugary kind of things, your body probably is crying out for more energy from carbohydrates. So maybe you need to have, like some fruit and yogurt or some crackers with tomato on top or something like that, just to really keep you going. Like your body definitely knows what it needs. Your body is such a cool thing. Like, man, just if we could fully understand like just what our bodies are actually capable of and just how amazingly we were all created, like, whoa, it would just blow our minds. Anyway, so the reason I wanted to chat with you about that is because I found a lot of the times when I was in my binging cycles, it was like my body was crying out for something, and no matter what I ate, it would not satisfy it. It's like, and I personally believe it's because I was cutting out so many different food groups to the point where my body was like, no, I need those food groups, like give me it. And I'd try and fill it with other things that I could eat, that were on my could eat list at that stage, and nothing would satisfy. And I'm like, I just know now, I know my body so well. Like aging is such a beautiful thing. Like, a lot of people are scared of aging. I'm now 32 and I literally am living my best life. I just feel like life has gotten better with age for me personally. But also the fact is that I'm getting to really know my body and understand my body in ways that I didn't, say, in my 20s. And so I think it was a really important adjustment for me to, like to try all different ways of eating and see what works for me, because now I know my body so well and I know what works for me. And then in another season of life, something else might work differently. So that's why I would say, number one, don't just go off by what your friends are eating because your body's different, or whoever you're following at the time. Two, the whole like restriction thing, like if we restrict certain food groups from our bodies, like a lot of people are like, oh, no, carbs are bad, so they eat high fats, or they say, no, fats are bad, so they eat low fat. And so one of the main reasons where I really wanted to chat about this is because I do actually speak a lot on my Instagram channel about like lower fat kind of alternatives to things, and just usually it's mainly because it is slightly lower calorie, depending on what food it is, of course. So I usually try and, you know, like give examples of recipes that are lower calories because most of my followers are, you know, they might be in like a fat loss kind of stage, or just wanting to cut down their calorie intake a little bit, just because it is so easy for us to overeat these days. But it doesn't necessarily mean that higher fat products are bad, like at all. Like higher fat products are actually really good. They're just easier to accidentally overeat on. So that's usually the only reason why I say, like, make sure you get the high protein yogurt and the lower fat yogurt, because usually they go hand in hand. If it's lower in fat, could mean that it's higher in protein, and then, you know, that works out better for macros for certain people. But it doesn't mean that you should choose that all the time. Like sometimes it's good to choose like the full fat milk or the full fat yogurt or the full fat cheese. It's just depending on what your goals are. So that's why I'm just stressing, like, don't just cut things out just because you've heard other people say that that's what they're doing, or just because the person you're following eats, you know, like a high fat, low carb diet doesn't mean you need to go copy it. Work out what works for you. That's why I find nutrition coaching so beneficial. So if you are after any sort of nutrition tips, or if you do want some one-on-one coaching with me, I offer it, and I'll make sure it's a good time for you. I'll create a plan for you that works literally perfect for your body. And in our coaching phase, we can actually manipulate it and change it depending on how your body reacts to things and adapts to the changes that are made. So one-on-one coaching is amazing. One, because it's personalized. Two, because we can actually create changes along the journey. And number three, because I will teach you how to eat in a sustainable way for the long term, to keep your results in the long term. So none of these fad roller coaster kind of things happening. Anyways, let's get back to the dessert. Alrighty, by the time I waffled on, my jelly was cool enough to blend up with the cottage cheese. My trusted macro mic shaker. I swear I use this way more for like other things, even more than I do for an actual protein shake. But I literally just blended it with some cottage cheese. That video, again, I'm gonna link in the description so you'll be able to see exactly how I do it. I just halved that amount for these two desserts here. So literally, all it is just blend it up with some cottage cheese, and then I'm just gonna pour it on top of this mousse. Oh, look at it. So good. Oops. Of course I spill some. Just like my almond milk every morning. Always spill it. All right, so I'm just gonna tidy up these glasses a little bit. I'm gonna sit them in the fridge for about an hour, and then they'll be ready to top with some whipped cream and enjoy. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. Our desserts are ready. So for about an hour or two, these guys have been sitting in the fridge, and so they're now nice and firm. So the berry vanilla mousse on top is nice and firm. So exciting. I'm gonna whack some whipped. I'm gonna whack some whipped cream on top, and then I've got some little chocolate chips on top too. So this whipped cream, literally, if you don't want to do the whipped cream, just leave it out. I just think it's a little bit of a cherry on the top. It's obviously a very processed food. I mean, as a nutritionist, you're probably thinking, Rhea, why are you recommending some whipped cream? I'm just like, it just makes the dessert even better, but it's still nice just as it is. So if you don't want it, don't eat it. If you do want it, whack it on. Little bits of choc chips on the top, you know, just for decoration. Let's go. Guys, would you look at that? Look at those layers. Chocolate mousse, berry vanilla mousse, whipped cream, chocolate chips. Mate, this is such good macros and I love it. Ooh, let's dig in. See? The whipped cream on top is so good. That berry vanilla jelly flavored in the mousse is so good. And then the rich chocolate at the bottom, like, mate, you gotta try it.